Oh my god, I'm back. So I'm gonna do an eyeshadow palette collection because I had mentioned in my previous video that I love eyeshadow. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I guess we should start off with my favorite brand. So my favorite brand of all time is BH Cosmetics. I love their eyeshadows. Whenever there's a sale, I always buy way more than I need to. So first palette in my stack of BH Cosmetics is this one called just the Midnight Eyeshadow Palette. It's got my favorite types of shades, warm, neutral tones with pops of blue. You'll see this a lot in my eyeshadow palette collection. But yeah, so their shadows, they swatch awesome. So let me swatch it right here. Like, look at that. Look at that. Heck yeah. So yeah, one of my favorites. I got this one for free because I spent so much money on BH Cosmetics one time. I still haven't used it yet. I am embarrassed about that, but I don't want to get rid of it either. So I guess I just have a palette. This one is the Illusion eyeshadow palette. Again, kind of just bluey tones, warm colors. Hi, Bruce. Hi, little man. Bruce is in the shot. And his tail's in the shot. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Hi, little boy. Hi, little boy. I'm gonna put you down. Okay. I guess this might be this. I said the midnight one was my favorite. I think this one might be. This is the Beautiful in Barcelona palette from BH Cosmetics. I don't know if they still sell all of these, but if they still sell this one, beautiful palette. Again, warm neutrals with a pop of blue. This palette I just love because it's just got all those beautiful rich tones that I'm super into. Let me swatch a few of these. I really like this color because it's a black with green shimmer. Bruce. So Bruce doesn't get in the way. But it's so dope. It's just such a pretty color. All right. Next up, the Love in London palette. I like this one because it's got really nice cool tones. I don't really like cool tones that much, but every once in a while I do quite enjoy a cool toned eye, so I reach for this one quite a bit. Again, pops of blue. We see a trend. I did say that blue eyeshadows were going to be in most of these. Another one that we have, Smitten in Switzerland. I also really like this one. Again, you see the blue? And another eyeshadow that we're going to see a ton of, this mustard tone right here. We're going to see that in many eyeshadow palettes, but look at how rich that one is. So pretty. I mean, can you tell I love mustard? Mustard blanket, mustard sweater, mustard hair. It's just a pretty color. Okay, next BH palette. I know I'm going through this hella fast because all of my eyeshadow palettes look the same and I feel like this video is going to be really repetitive. So I'm mainly recording this just to flex on my moderately sized eyeshadow collection. So yeah. BH Cosmetics next palette, I don't know why I keep saying BH. This was the BH pile. All right, so the Run Wild palette, the Tina Young collaboration, I saw these colors and I immediately was like, I need this palette. Like, look at those colors. Like, really nice, kind of tropically tones. There's that mustard that I die over. And then the thing that I really like about it, I love these blush tones because I'm really pale, so I don't really like super intense blush colors, but these, they're just dusty or muted enough to work for me, and it's awesome. The bronzer is also not orange at all, which I really struggle with as a pale person. So easily when I do travel with eyeshadows, this is the palette I enjoy to take with me. Last palette in my BH stack. I am almost embarrassed about it because I never use it. The colors are gorgeous. The metallics swatch beautifully. The mattes are beautiful. But it's just so dang big that to pull it out and I just don't use it. But I don't want to get rid of it either because I love to hoard my eyeshadow palettes. It is the Zodiac Love Signs palette. Love this thing, like, to look at. Not to use, but looking at it. Look, it's so stunning. Like, look at these colors. Again, it's got blues and it's got a mustard tone, which we die for here in this house. Gorgeous, gorgeous tones. Look at this, like, highlight shade right here. Like, do you see that? I know I'm swatching it over that, like, dark, like, the dark one that's stained, but, like, for real, let me swatch it in a better spot. Try it again. I cannot express how beautiful that color is. It's like gold, beigey. It's gorgeous. Like, chef's kiss. That thing, it's delicious. If eyeshadow can be described the same way that we described food, delicious. All right, next pile. Let's do the ones I don't really want to talk about so we can get them out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna share my opinion really early on in this channel. I don't even really have much of a following yet, but to the 7 of you that subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate that, and you guys are the best. I'm sure most of those 7 people are people I know and love in my personal life, so hi you guys. Thank you. So, a year ago, my husband and I got suckered into that Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star documentary, that like 20-part documentary where they were talking about, where they were making the eyeshadow palettes. And as a Christmas present, my husband sacrificed his lunch break to get a hold of these 2 palettes that I have in front of me right now. Due to who we later found out Jeffree Star was as a person, you know, the actions that, you know, his actions, Shane's actions, I feel really icky about using these palettes. So they just kind of sit in my drawer, but they were really expensive and they were a gift from my husband, so I don't want to get rid of them. I know I should probably use them because we spent the money on it. I just feel really icky about it now. I'm pretty sure you know which eyeshadow palettes I'm talking about. So it's the Jeffree Star Mini Controversy palette. Pretty colors, right up my alley. Again, just feel really icky about using these. And the actual Conspiracy palette, I loved the colors when they were putting it together. So this was the one I was really, really like wanting. But now I just can't bring myself to use this. Gorgeous colors, for real, 100%. But the people that created this, not beautiful people. All right. Okay. Let's move into just like some random ones that I bought when I was shopping at Target. So this is the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. Metallic covering, so it might be really hard to see the lettering on the front. Again, what are we seeing here? Seeing some neutrals with a pop of blue. Yeah. This is a really nice palette, by the way. I shouldn't just like gloss over it. Like it swatches beautifully, and for the price, like, look at that. Like, for real. For real. Oh my god. Beautiful. I should use that thing more often. It's been sitting in my drawer. In my vanity, I only put like 3 or 4 eyeshadow palettes there at a time. I routinely shop my stash. So I'm gonna use this kind of as my time to shop my stash at the same time as I show off and flex on my awesome collection of the same eyeshadow palette over and over and over and over again. So this one, coming to the front, is gonna be one of the eyeshadow palettes I use for the coming holidays. It is not Christmas time yet, okay? This is me stopping what I'm doing to tell you guys out there. It is not Christmas time yet. Thanksgiving is still a thing. I love Thanksgiving. I don't like that we're glorifying the slaughter of, thousands of indigenous people, but what it has turned into, the get together, the food, the everything. I stan Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving still needs to happen. I'm not for all the people decorating for Christmas right now. No, nah, nah. It's not a thing. You wait till after Thanksgiving. Once this Thursday comes and goes, hell yeah, let's talk about Christmas. But for now, or the other holidays, but I celebrate Christmas. Anyway, for now, it's turkey season. Heck yeah. Okay, moving on. I don't know where that came from. Moving on. Let's talk about this eyeshadow palette. It is from Pixie by Petra. Doesn't have a mirror on it. I really like the colors in this, but the fact that it doesn't have a mirror like makes me not want to use it as often as I probably should. Nice, wonderful, cool tones. And these swatches, like these metallics are gangster. Like, look at that. Like, this is a gangster palette, but I just, no mirror, so I don't use it very often. But you know what? Holidays are coming up. It's getting to the colder months. I do enjoy a cool toned eye look, so I'm gonna probably save this for when, for my vanity for the season. Okay. Let's talk about, let me see. Let's talk about some online purchases. So, does anybody remember Bad Habit Beauty? Anybody? Because they were my thing. Like, I loved their dupe palettes. I believe this eyeshadow palette that I have is a dupe of a Natasha Denona palette. I do have a couple Natasha Denona palettes that I purchased fairly recently, but prior to that, I have not purchased it before. So, I don't know what palette this is supposed to be, but look at these colors. Look at these colors. Yes, I see warm browns and I see a blue. But hey, we've got some like Marsala tones, some like berry tones. Good for me, right? These are gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And it's like the blue isn't even really a blue. It's like this gorgeous duochrome, like cranberry. Oh my god, delicious. I love this palette. It is the Bad Habit Divine eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure you can find this anymore. Bad Habit went under, like they went ghost, and then we never heard from them again. But they made some great eyeshadow palettes. Moving on, another brand that I consider to be fairly similar. The formula is really close to what Bad Habits was. Alter Ego Cosmetics. They have some dupes, some Natasha Denona dupes that I have 2 of. Let's flex. This one is the Goddess palette. I think this is supposed to be the dupe of what is it called? The gold palette? I don't know. I don't keep up with eyeshadow palettes as much as I used to. But look at this. Yes, I am aware there are more blues, but we love the blue tones. So let me pause right here and explain why I love the blues so much. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. Can you tell? So my eyes are like, they're a lighter brown. You can't really tell on camera. They're like a lighter brown, a really warm brown, kind of like on the orangey side. I like to joke that my eyes are orange. And the blue just like really just works with my eyeshadow, with my eye color. I love the look. I'm all about the slaty blue tones. I love the blues on the eyes. Right. This palette, again, delicious. Just, need I say more? Look at these colors. Just look at them. Just look at them. Like, let's watch some mattes for a change, because I mean, I find that it's easier to find good shimmers in palettes nowadays, but like, look at these mattes. Like, they blend so amazing on the eyes. I love that palette. I may set this one aside to use for the coming months, because now that the holidays are coming around, I kind of have a reason to look pretty, even if we're just restricted to 3 households. and outside for 2 hours. I'm gonna look great for those 2 hours. Just like right now, I told myself I was gonna film today, so I put on the biggest eyelashes I could find from my box of eyelashes that I got from eBay. Not used to wearing eyelashes this big, but they look cute on camera, so I'm probably gonna keep using them. So yeah. All right, next one. I'm just full of words today. All right, next one. We got the Artemis palette from Alter Ego. This one I know is a dupe of the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I ain't spending no $100 and something on no Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. But look at that. Is this not a bigger version of all the other palettes I have just shown you? It's gorgeous. But it's so gorgeous. Like that, these rusty, like, red tones. Come get your life. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. All the way. Yes. 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 I'm gonna say it again. Yes. They still sell this. And I think it's like if it's not under $20, it's under $25. Yes. Yes. AlterEgoCosmetics.com. This thing is dope. So dope. Like, if I had to get rid of all of my eyeshadow palettes and just keep one, I'm pretty sure this is the one I would consider because it has the reds, it has the blues. Let me see if it's got a mustard. And it's got a mustard in the upper corner. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the one. This is it. This is her. All right. So let's move on. Should we do high-end eyeshadow palettes? Yeah, let's move on to the few like high-end ones I have. Okay. I'm the more I show these eyeshadow palettes, the more embarrassed I get that all of them look exactly the same for the most part. I think there's like a 75% color overlap in all of these eyeshadow palettes. If you're out there and you see that I have all of these eyeshadows, please don't feel the need to buy more than what you already have, because I have a disgusting amount of eyeshadows. It's disgusting. I have so many. That I will never use in my lifetime. I routinely have to declutter, and it breaks my heart that some eyeshadow palettes that I do end up passing along to other people, I've only used like 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, try to be as minimal as possible, because once you get to the point where I'm at or more, you're never gonna use them all. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get off my high horse. Let's move on. Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I know. Neutrals, oranges, and blues. But heck yeah, we love them. I'm not gonna swatch this palette. I'm sure you guys are aware that Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes swatch beautifully, and they're so easy to work with on the eye. But again, let me just embarrass myself. So look at this. And let's look at this. Are we serious? Are we serious? Yes, we are, Yvonne. I love both of these. But I didn't need to spend the money on the Urban Decay palette because that Metropolis palette has everything. Next one. This one, fairly recent purchase. Again, I love mustards. Mustard blanket. Mustard sweater. Mustard hair. And I love pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice everything. Pumpkin spice oatmeal. You ever had pumpkin spice oatmeal? The thing's the bomb. So, naturally, I saw this palette and I couldn't say no because it's pumpkin spice. And you know what else it's got? Warm mustardy tones. This one doesn't have blues. It has purples. Okay? So, yes, I am aware it has orange tones. But look at these purples in the corner. Yeah. This was very necessary. Yeah. I don't regret this purchase because this purchase is fairly new and I've gotten a lot of use out of this because it's been one of the 4 palettes that's been sitting on my vanity since I bought this. And I'm gonna keep it out because I really like the color scheme of this palette. And when I open it, it brings me joy because pumpkin spice. Yes. Yes. All right. That's that on that. Let's talk about Natasha Denona. I bought both of these palettes and I like them. Like, I like them a lot. But the more I use them, I'm like, I didn't need it. Like, I didn't need it. I just had to buy it because it was 11 o'clock at night and I was vulnerable and my husband was asleep, and that's just what happens. I get suckered into online advertising that I see on Facebook pretty frequently, embarrassingly enough, too frequently. So I got myself the Glam palette and the Bronze palette. I'm so disgusted at myself. I'm not gonna swatch these. So this with the Glam palette, this is a pasty girl's dream. So for me, this is great. Like, the transition color is actually light enough to be a transition, but I do think it's a little annoying that Natasha Denona didn't make a second palette for deeper skin tones, because this is going to be ashy on people that are not much deeper than me. But for me, I mean, it's a great palette. Would I buy this again, knowing, like, after having it for a couple months? No. Because the Pixie palette that I just showed you guys is like the same essence of this palette. So I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed about that one. Same with the Bronze palette. Gorgeous colors. This, again, can we see? Can we see what I've got going on here? Are these oranges with like a grayy blue up here? Yes. Yes, but it's not a gray blue. It's like a duochrome burgundy. But still, looks just like my other palettes. The quality, I would say the quality, yes, it's a great palette. It's very nice quality. But it doesn't swatch or perform any better than like my BH palettes or my Artemis palette from Alter Ego. I kept calling it the Metropolis palette. It's the Artemis palette. Sorry, guys. It doesn't swatch any better than this one or any of the BH Cosmetics palettes that I've mentioned. So I don't think they're worth it. So I'm going to join everybody else that has said that it's not worth it. Girl, human, sentient being. It's not worth it. Save yourself your coin. Get yourself a palette from BH. Get yourself that palette from Alter Ego Cosmetics. You don't need it. You don't. I love her. This one is actually pretty different from the other however many I showed you, like 20 something. This is 20? Probably not. I don't know. I'm not keeping count. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Was it only a holiday release? I think it was. Oh, well, if you got your hands on it, oh man, it's beautiful. Like, look at these colors. Like, this silver called Cyborg, it's just, like, look at it. It's disgustingly beautiful. So gorgeous. This, like, corally color blends so beautifully. Get out of here. This is a great, great, great palette that I am not gonna get rid of until it's, like, rancid. I'm gonna hold on to this forever. I'm sure it says good for 18 months. I've had this more than that. And I'm not gonna get rid of it because it's one of my favorite palettes. I think there we go. These two is acabó. Like this is it. Like these, yes, yes. Holding on to. Okay. These are what I'm gonna put up front along with my bold obsessions. I think I'm gonna and put my pumpkin spice back in the front. The pixie one is gonna stay. So far, after going through these, my drawer is gonna have pumpkin spice, bold obsessions, sultry, Artemis. All right, that's the pile. Let's keep going. Let's go back to Bad Habit, because I have more than that divine palette that I mentioned from Bad Habit. Bad Habit, R.I.P. You made great eyeshadows. The artistry too. I think these are like rip-offs of the Kim Kardashian eyeshadows that were out like years ago. This is the artistry too. Blues and warm browns. But like, look at this color right here. Like this taupey color. It's just, you can tell I had made a significant dent on it. It's just so pretty. It's one of those effortless one eyeshadow looks that I do from time to time when I go to work. Who am I kidding? When I go to work, I put on eyebrows and like complexion products and I'm almost like, let's go. That's how I do my makeup for work. But when I do have the time to do eyeshadow, I usually just do one eyeshadow all the way up to like here. Yeah. All right. The OG artistry palette. It's just the artistry. I put the OG on there because it was the first one. So I love this one. More neutrals. But this blue right here. Look at it. Look at it. This is like before like super metallic shimmers were a thing. These are like graceful, like dainty, like almost smoky shimmers. Like they're satin. I should have just said satin. Like that blue is like the most beautiful hazy navy. It's such a pretty palette. R.I.P. Bad Habit. You made dupes of great stuff and I miss you. Come back. Wherever you went, come back. All right. Next one. Who is that? Hi, Chuck. He's in the back. I don't know if you can see him. You probably can't because he's out in the back and it's darker back there. So this one is, I believe, a dupe of the Subculture palette. This one was called Retro Love. This palette right here. Yes, I am aware there are mustards, greens, and blues, and some warm toned bronzes. This palette is like my OG love. Like before I discovered the Artemis palette, this was the palette I used all the time. It's just so pretty. The color story is delicious. I'm gonna say that a lot. I've already said it a lot. Delicious is the word. We're sticking with delicious. Like, you don't even know. Who are you? Like, you do not know how great this palette is. And I never got my hands on the actual Subculture palette, but like, look at that. R.I.P. R.I.P. Are we ready to move on to the next eyeshadow palette? This is a dupe of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. Same brand, Bad Habit. The Aura palette. Now I know dang well I don't really like any of the colors in this other than the highlighter yellow. But this palette at the time, I got it for $10. And I just, look at the yellow. Look at the yellow. I just needed it. And I'm not going to get rid of it just because I really like this yellow. And I am too dang lazy to depot my eyeshadows Ain't nobody got time for that. I know there are some people out there that do. Kudos to you guys being able to downsize and live your life. I'm not gonna do that. And this palette is everything. Like, look, just because of the yellow. Literally just because of the yellow. Let's swatch that yellow. Just to like, look at that. You can barely see it, but it's like a true highlighter yellow. It's awesome. And I'm not gonna get rid of this palette because Bad Habit is defunct, and I wouldn't have access to this. And the actual Prism palette is long gone. So I have this palette because of the highlighter yellow. Let us move on to the most underrated eyeshadows, in my opinion. Why does nobody talk about Bare Minerals eyeshadows? Why? Y'all talk about the powder. Yes, I love the powder, but people need to talk about these eyeshadows more. Like, not the loose ones, because nobody has time to screw around with loose eyeshadow, but they're Gen Nude pressed eyeshadows. Like, look at how loved these palettes are, because it's like, even the front is worn out. This is the Copper palette. Look at these colors. Look at these colors. And tell me that they're not beautiful. Like, look at this green right here. It's like the most perfect, like, mossy, metallic green. This palette is amazing. I love these little tiny palettes. They're like the perfect palette for when you can't figure out what kind of eyeshadow look to do. This is like, bam. Hey, let's do this one. Like, it's so good. This is so good. Like, this is, like I said, this one's the Copper one. I also have the Latte one, which is like my go-to when I want to do like a thoughtless eyeshadow look. It's got all of these beautiful bronzy tones. Like, when I don't know how to do what to do for eyeshadow, bronzy tones is where we go. Like 100% of the time. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. Oh my god. This is me nerding out over like the beauty. Why does nobody talk about this? This is a great palette. It's awesome. It's so awesome. It's frustrating. Why ain't nobody talk about you? Like, they're great. Give them a chance. They just want to be loved. Okay. I'm gonna stop preaching. I'm gonna stop being mad. Let's move on to the last Bare Minerals one I have. I believe I got this one for free. Yes, I did. I don't remember what this is called. Oh, this is the Ready Eyeshadow 8.0 in the Bare Neutrals. That's what they are. Bare Neutrals. Again, a beautifully put together eyeshadow palette for when you don't know what to do. And the quality in this little bad boy. Come on. Come on. Next time Bare Minerals has a sale, you need to give them a chance, because it's a crime that nobody talks about them. Moving on to some random eyeshadows that I also purchased when I was vulnerable at 11 p.m. and my husband was asleep. I bought some quads from this brand called Focalure. They are the 4-pan eyeshadow, like Glam Eyes eyeshadows. They're cute. Like, look at them. They're cute. And to be honest, I bought them thinking like, oh, this will be like a cute, like cheap alternative to the Bare Minerals ones that I have. Those that I just showed you guys. But the texture on them is it's a little off. Like, you can get it on your finger and like just fine. And its swatch is nice. But they don't, that's what it is. The staying power is just, it's just poop. Like, and I have really oily eyelids, so I prime and everything, but they just don't work. I'm still trying to give them a chance because I got these not too long ago. Of course, I didn't spend that much money on them, but because I bought them, I feel the need to keep them and make them work. But they're not the bee's knees. Skip them. Skip them if you're ever on Focalure's website. They have some bomb diggity highlighters and face products. Like their blushes, awesome. Like the ones that are the dupes of the Cover FX, the monochromatic ones, those are dope. I have the peach one and I have a hot pink one. Love them. These, it's a no for me. No. All right. Third one that I got when I was vulnerable. This is the Sephora I Love for Medium Cool Eyeshadow Palette. It's really pretty. Again, I bought this one trying to replace my Bare Minerals ones because they're getting up there. They're pretty old. They're, I think, maybe 2 or 3 years old at this point. She don't compare. No. I mean, its swatch is nice. They swatch great, but on the eyes, they kind of just blend away into nothing. Like, look at that. But, like, compare it to this Latte palette. Latte just told you to get out of town. Look at that. Latte is telling you, get the heck out of town. This is my turf. But I'm holding on to it because, again, I bought it. And it's small enough that if I had to travel and be really compact, like, and not take the Tina Young palette that I have from BH, I would take that because it has, you know, the nice neutral coppery tones that I can use all over the lid if I'm in a rush. I would take that. But it's okay. It's okay. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would give it maybe a 6. I would not repurchase. Things I would repurchase, though. Let's talk about e.l.f. We love e.l.f. I have these. I have the bite-sized eyeshadows that everybody has. They're the best. They're just so nice. And I'm not gonna swatch these because I know dang well you have seen them all. So I've got the rose one. Rose water. This is so pretty, especially if you're like a neutral to cool tone person. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. We got pumpkin pie. What'd I say about pumpkin? We love pumpkin spice here. This is like my palette. This one was made for me. The people that love the coppery bronzy tones. This right here. If you like what's going on with my shirt, what's going on with my hair, what's going on with that blanket back there, hit this up. I got hot jalapeno. I don't know why I got this. It's pretty. But I just feel like they made me look like a toucan when I'm rocking this. Or like a diehard fan of like the Oakland A's. I know my husband is. So I mean, you know what? Maybe I bought this to go to baseball games, but then the Rona happened, and she just sits in the drawer. I mean, it wasn't expensive. It was under $5, and hey, eventually we will go back to normal, and we will have baseball games. We will have that again in the next maybe year and a half. So that will serve its purpose one day. The last one I have from of the bite-sized eyeshadows is the Cream and Sugar. This one is really nice. Like if you want to have a thoughtless eyeshadow look and you don't want to spend the $20-$30 on the Bare Minerals ones, this one's your friend. All right. I also last year, in a moment of vulnerability, bought this e.l.f. one. I don't even remember what this one is called. But she's cute. Because she's got a mustard, a orange, and all the other delicious colors that I've just made very clear that I'm into. So I use that one from time to time. I also really enjoy the new classics. This one, super pretty for that one eyeshadow look. Like this is the rose gold color. Like, look at that. Look at that. And this thing is cheap too. It's like under $15. Well, I shouldn't say cheap because cheap to people it's different depending on your, on your economic status. it's less expensive than a lot of the other palettes I am flexing today. So this one, for the amount of money, worth it. I really like this one. I also really like this Opposites Attract palette. Again, mustards, oranges, all about that. And these cool tones, they're pretty dope too. I don't use purples that often, but when I do, I reach for this one or that pumpkin spice palette that I used for my first video. Last one. I have mild regrets about this one because I really like the colors, but I hardly use this palette because it's so, like, the colors are so deep and intense that I sometimes feel like, I'm gonna throw an old reference out there. I feel like these make me look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. Like these. This is the Earth and Ocean palette. These are very pretty colors. Yes, the silver came shattered, and that's fine. I didn't need a silver glitter. It's okay. I'm not gonna die. What happened was this came this came like this, and my awkward self was too afraid to email Elf Cosmetics and let them know that I received damaged products so I could get a replacement, because I don't like confrontation. So I just dealt with a broken eyeshadow. But it's okay. Not like I use silver that much anyway. Oh god, that's so telling about who I am as a person. I'm embarrassed that I'm sharing that with you. I'm gonna leave it in just to give you guys an idea of who I am. So yeah, I have this palette. The greens are really nice. Again, the blues are really nice, but I feel like if I don't throw in like different shades, I come off looking a little too Mimi from the Drew Carey show. And those are my e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes. I love my e.l.f. eyeshadows, and they are what I end up going to a lot of, like, if I'm not using the Bare Minerals ones or I can't figure out what to do, I usually reach for my e.l.f. shadows. Next brand, ColourPop. Now, we know I'm from Cali. How was I not going to support the California Love palette? And you know why I had to support the California Love palette? Y'all know what colors are in here. Warm browns and mustards. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, this is just such a good palette. Want to say it with me? Delicious. This palette right here. I know that I have swatched these colors so many times in this video. These same 3 colors. I don't care. This palette is great. I use it more come the summer months. Right now I'm freezing my hands off, and it's not that warm temperature to be all sexy and bronzy. And who am I talking about, sexy and bronzy? I am nowhere near sexy or bronze. But this is a good palette for the summer months. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We love this palette. My sister, a couple Christmases ago, gave me this adorable eyeshadow palette, the designer collection with the Disney princesses. I'm not gonna say who's my princess is. If y'all know me, you guys know who my princess is. If you don't know me, comment down below who you think my princess is. These colors, very girly, very soft, very cute. I hardly use this palette because it was a gift, and I like when people gift me makeup, it holds sentimental value, so I really like try not to damage it or get rid of it. I hold on to it forever because I love makeup, and somebody that is sweet enough to gift me makeup obviously like had me like it's just like it's cute. It's a sappy reason. I don't really have a heart. I don't have feelings, so I don't really like to articulate what makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but just know if you gift me makeup, it's cute, it's sentimental. I hold on to these things. I treasure them. I may or may not leave that in the video. Let's talk about this isn't really ColourPop. This is the blush and the bronzer are ColourPop. These 4 eyeshadows are Makeup Geek eyeshadows that I had bought in the past. Now I made this palette. Look at this is the pinnacle of how boring I am with my eyeshadow. I straight up made this palette thinking, hell yeah, I'm gonna use this to travel. Yeah, some traveling we've done this year, Rona. And it's just like a really safe palette. If we ever travel again, I may pack the I Love, the Sephora one. I may pack this one. We'll see. Who knows when we'll get to travel again. It'll be some years before we do that. Last but not least, let's talk about some eyeshadows that hold sentimental value. Smooth transition from this one. Let's be sappy. This is a Bad Habit mini palette called the After Party. It is a dupe of a Huda Beauty palette. I used this eyeshadow palette on my wedding day. Yes, I did my own makeup on my wedding day because, as I said in the first video, makeup really relaxes me, and because I was so like weddings are stressful. Even if I didn't really do even if I didn't do 100% of the planning and I got a lot of help, weddings are stressful. If you are thinking about getting married, first of all, make sure it's the right person. Second of all, I don't know. You can do it if that's your prerogative, but honestly, like, I feel like if you can avoid the stress, don't do it. Hubby, I love you. I know you're probably gonna see this, and I do not regret getting married. But the wedding aspect of it, if you don't want to have a wedding, don't have one. So yeah, I used this eyeshadow palette. I used what were the colors I used? I used these 3 colors on my wedding day. So these beautiful, like, it was a very neutral eye because I had a bold berry lip on my wedding day because I had a vintage veil, so I was aiming for a really nice neutral vintage look. I looked banging. I am not gonna share pictures of my wedding because I'm not that sophisticated of an editor yet to know how to insert pictures into my reel, but just know that I look banging. Next eyeshadow palette that I care a lot about. I don't remember if my sister gifted this one to me or my husband. I think my husband did, because this is the Avengers eyeshadow palette, and we're both heavy into the Avenger, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Really pretty colors. I treat this more as like a collector's item, so I kind of abstain from using this, but it's gorgeous. I love Marvel. I'm more of a DC fan, but I love Marvel too. And this is just a really cute palette. Courageous, tenacious, fearless, legendary, all things that describe me. Okay, let's talk about this one. That apparently, so this one is a couple months old. My stepson gave this to me. He said his favorite colors is blue, and he knows that I like doing makeup, so he wanted me to have an eyeshadow palette that had his favorite colors in it so that I could do my eye makeup the way he wants me to. And as somebody that is a stepmom, it's so nice to know that your stepchild cares about you enough to think of you when they're out shopping. So AJ, if you see this, love you, buddy. And I love my eyeshadow palette. Next one. When my husband and I were first dating, he knew I loved makeup, and we were both not in the most, hold on, let me fix my eyelash. Neither of us were in the best economic state, let's say. We were both working at Target making slightly above minimum wage. And I don't know if he was trying to impress me or what it was, but there was a time where I had gotten sick and I was sick at home, and he showed up at my doorstep and gifted me this eyeshadow palette. It's a Tarte eyeshadow palette. I'm sure they don't sell this anymore. The colors gorgeous. I don't know how he knew that I love blues, oranges, and bronzes, but this eyeshadow palette is beautiful. And even though I love all the colors, because it's a gift, I'm really afraid of using it and like screwing it up. So it still smells good. It smells like vanilla. It's one of my sentimental favorite palettes because he saw this and thought of me, and it just kind of helped me see that like he knew me as a person because he knew the kind of colors I loved. And yeah, this is the palette. I may not show him this video because I am smiling and being all mushy about him, and he will tease me relentlessly. And because everybody knows your girl don't have feelings, and I am just one cold hard chick. Second to last eyeshadow palette, because there are a couple outliers that I forgot to sort, and I'll go touch on those really quick. Last gift that I adore. This one is from my friend Brie, my #1 fan, and just my really good friend. This is the Makeup Revolution I Love Tasty Pizza. I love pizza. I love pepperoni pizza. I love combination pizza. I love pepperoni and black olive pizza. I love olive pizza. As long as the pizza has red sauce and cheese, we love pizza. I always say we like I have multiple personalities. I might. We don't know. But point being, I love pizza, and she knows I love pizza. And she saw an eyeshadow palette and put the two together, and I think that's the greatest thing. So Brie, if you're watching this, thank you again. This was, I believe, this year's birthday present, and I absolutely love this palette. Absolutely love this palette. I would probably rank Chris's eyeshadow palette, the first eyeshadow palette he gave to me, first, but this is a pretty close first. Like, look at these colors. These are so pretty. Gorgeous. Let's swatch that green. Like, are you kidding me? Shrek could never. Shrek could absolutely never. We love this palette. And again, I don't want to use it up because I love it so much. So, another sentimental favorite. Last but not least, well, I guess least because I totally forgot about these eyeshadow palettes. Let's not lie to kick it. These are the least. This cargo eyeshadow palette that I bought on clearance in Kohl's, because why not? Colors are boring, but I spent money on it, so I'm gonna keep it. This eyeshadow palette I really love, and I just wait for the summer to use it. This is the Alamat Cosmetics, what was this called? The Reina del Caribe eyeshadow palette volume 1. Look at her! I almost did my wedding makeup with this. Like this close. But then I had many people tell me, dude, it's your wedding. Like, it's your wedding and you're gonna save those pictures forever. And what if the eyeshadow you look like eyeshadow look you do is like hella dated come 50 years from now? And I said, good point. So I went with the Save Neutral, like, classic look. But yeah, look at these. Look at these. I just, oh, when it's sunny again, when it's sunny again, and I'm snatched, because I'm, if my weight loss journey works out, if, when it's sunny and I'm snatched, over for all of y'all. Over for all of y'all. I'm gonna look so good. You don't even know. So, that is it, you guys. Those are all of my eyeshadows. If you've watched all the way until the end, thank you so much. I am way more comfortable on camera. I think I just had to do it the first time, but thank you. I really do appreciate that. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to like and subscribe. I don't have a consistent schedule because I work full time and I'm a stepmom, and it's just, I have lots of things going on in my personal life, but this is something I'm really enjoying to do, so I hope to post more often. And yeah, so thank you guys again. I don't know how many times I can say thank you. I'm sure it's annoying by now. And I'll see you guys next time.